Hey people, get the car started here. Welcome to the official start of part 3 of the Pillar Build. As you noticed, we ain't in the Dragon's Lair workshop. We's out and about. We're actually over in the Seattle area working, and we've worked for today. And for those of you who've been following Hellmouth's vlog, he mentioned in today's vlog that we were going to stop down and give him a hand. He's re-tarping his carport. And we offered to come down and give him a hand. And I just got done putting some go-go juice in the car, and that's where we are off to. We're heading down to Troy's to help him out with one of his projects. Haunters Helping Haunters. And I'm not by myself. My beautiful and lovely sidekick. Are you going to say anything, sidekick? Don't make me tickle you. You know where I like to tickle. You got to say hello to the people at least. Come on.
Knock it off.
See, there we go. She said something, even though it was knock it off. But anyway, we're heading down to give Troy a helping hand. So we'll give you some footage of down at Troy's, and then after that, we'll get back to the Pillar Build. Well, traffic notwithstanding, we made it. We are down at the mouth of Hell's. And we picked up dinner. 3 12-packs of tacos. That ought to be more than enough to feed Hellmouth. Jolson's going to be here. In fact, he is here. His semi set right there. And me. Joanne doesn't eat tacos. She's into Arby's. And this, it looks like this is about as far as he got last night. Fun, fun, fun. We've had some dinner, still lots of tacos left. And they're getting to Troy, and he hasn't been using the hot sauce. But man, we're all standing upwind of him. Boy, are we standing upwind of him. That man's potent, you give him a taco.
Are you sure you didn't smell Buffy?
But we've made some progress. If you've been following along with Troy's vlogs, you'll know he got this section done yesterday on his own. So far, we've got this section done. Troy's been diligently working on that one. We're shaming him into work. Jolson and I have been out here for about an hour and a half while he's been in the house in the air conditioning.
Wait a second.
And we've gotten this far done.
Whoa. How long?
About an hour and a half while you've been lazy in the house.
My ass.
I don't want your ass. It's too well used.
That's just wrong.
But we've gotten down to about here. I've been working since I'm the only one that's tall enough to work from the ground. I've been.
An hour and a half, Ram? You guys sure are slow.
It took you several hours just to get one little section done last night. But we made some progress. This one's ready to come down now up to that bar there. So we're making some progress. I don't know if we're going to get it all down tonight. But we're making some progress on it. We're going to have a good dent in it at least. And then my helper over here has been working with Buffy. And you notice Buffy is actually laying still for a change. She's been entertaining Buffy and keeping Buffy out of our hair. And Buffy is very, very tired. I think Sue's getting tired too.
I started out tired.
And then we've been having some help too. Jolson's younger brother. What is your younger brother's name?
Smidget.
Smidget?
Well,
you know, this is going to be official now. It's going to be on YouTube.
I know.
Thousands of people are going to know you as Smidget.
Better than the alternative.
Okay. But he's been helping out with Buffy, and he's been collecting trash and stuff for us. Been pretty good help out here too. And he's been Troy's gopher tonight as well, so not bad. Troy hard at work.
That's what she said.
Wow.
It's a Buffy! Huh? Little Buffy being a good girl. She's been a really good help out here. We've made some progress, and most of it has been Jolson and Troy, because they've been working on the ladders.
Troy's actually been working.
For a change. But we gave you the shot at the beginning. There's still a lot of plastic up. And we're working over his storage locker now, and they're just getting down the last little bit of it. So not too bad. When do you think we'll be stretching the top on, Troy?
The way my projects go, next summer.
Uh-huh.
That's believable.
You mean next century?
Yeah.
We only got the frame, the unmentionable project, the bathroom,
I know why, the bathroom.
the monster in the box, the man-eating plant from before you started watching. That's been going on for several years now.
Uh-huh.
Project that gets walked past. The little surprise tombstone thing, yep.
Yep. But anyway, we've gotten closer to the finished product. I'm trying to talk Troy in to making this a Saturday night project. Every Saturday, Sue Ann and I, and maybe Jolson when he's in town, or Jim if he has a night off, or other special guest cameo appearances will show up, and we'll eventually get this done before the summer's over for Troy.
Like
Works
if
for me.
you want them to do
That's
it.
the whole point, is to get this done before the rain starts coming down.
Yeah. Well, you're a heck of a lot closer now that we got the old stuff down. We just got to get the new stuff up.
I don't know about you, but I honestly, I think that what we just had up here protected a little bit more from rain than what this is right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I mentioned earlier, you can go down to Home Depot or Lowe's and get that blue plastic, not to cover the whole thing, but, to cover this area here where you work.
And yes, my neighbors would love me.
Yeah, your neighbors would love it. But that would you could put it up, like the night before if you knew it was going to rain the next day.
Yeah.
And then take it down when you're done. And then store it away and just use it as a temporary thing, if the weather was foul. It's an idea. But anyway, I think we're about ready to just kick back and relax for a while. I think.
No, we ain't done yet.
Right?
Still got a ways to go.
No, it is not.
Let's see over here. How much left do we have? We got all of that.
My first name is not Timmy.
This is the last little bit we've got to do, and then we got all the black plastic down. So not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera away for the night. I think we're done with it for the night. We're gonna get this little bit down here, and then I think we're just gonna sit back, kick back, and relax for a while and bullshit. And then next clip you're gonna be getting, it's gonna be the start of part 3, which is the gates for the pillars. So, and that will probably take place for me in a couple of days. I gotta work tomorrow. Monday errands and all that. But we'll get going on things, and we'll see if we can get the gates done this week. Well, we made it home. If you've been watching Troy's vlog, we got quite a bit done on his roof. We got all the black plastic off of it. Had a nice relaxing evening afterwards. We are home, back in the Dragon's Lair workshop. We are getting ready to start part 3 on the pillars. First step in part 3 of the pillars, I gotta get all 4 pillars out here on the patio. And my helper's coming out. Watch out! Ah, she got the bone. There went the bone. A dirty bone. Dog's been trying to bury things again. But let's get the pillars out here and we'll get going. I got the pillars into place. I got the arches sitting up there. They're not attached yet. And I've done something different. My original design for the pillars was to have them 5 feet apart. The exit one here, and you can see the exit sign up there, is set at 4 foot. The 5 foot just seems like too big of an opening to me. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and do it at 4. The nice thing is with at 5, these end plates stick out here over the thing on both sides, which is why I had originally planned for. If I do 4 foot on the other hand, you can see they're even with the pillar. And I think I kind of like that better. I like that look. So I think I'm going to go with that, but I need to ask the set designer and see what she thinks. And then we'll go about getting those attached, the arches attached. And today's also leak test day. I know I'm going to have problems with one of them, but we're going to fill them up with water and go from there. On the pillars, showed you the exit one. We had it 4 foot. We had the back one at 5. She agreed with me it looked better at 4 foot, which is actually nicer and will save us money in the long run. Because if I had left it at 5, I would have had to have done the gates in 2.5 foot increments to equal out 5 foot, and it would have been more piping, more fittings, what have you. So it'll save us a little money on that. All right, now, before I go, you can see the arches there. Before I go and attach them, I want to get these things weighed down. And Shay, Emerald Gypsy Heart, Lady Shay, have been asking how I was going to fill them. Well, I'm filling them. You can see, I got a hose in there. And it's just a matter of filling the cavity. This one, so far, is, yeah, it is leaking a little bit. It is leaking a little bit. Okay. I was wondering if they were going to leak. And it's leaking out the bottom. This one here, or no, it was this one here. I noticed it's separated down below a little bit, so I know it's going to leak too. So I'm going to go to my alternative plan, my alternative way of lining these. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in just a sec. All right, here's our first pillar. And I have my water treatment in. I was tracking the leak, and it is in the bottom piece. That is what's leaking. The sides are not leaking. If I had this filled all the way up to the top lip, and you can see it's already down about 1 inch. It's been about 15 minutes or so. So I'm thinking probably within about 5 hours this thing would be totally dry. So I'm doing a fix. What I did is I just took a black trash bag, one of the 35-gallon trash bags, and I put that in here and just put a staple here, 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 and then over here to hold it into place. And now I'm filling that up with water. That's acting as a liner. So no problem whatsoever that way. And I think that's water from over there. At least I hope that's water from, yeah, it's water from over there. See, oh God, I got water coming out. I got a liner in there. It shouldn't be leaking. But anyway, it's all lined and everything. Problem is it's not tall enough to go all the way up to the top, so it's sitting down about 1 inch to 2 inches. So not a problem. 2 inches of water doesn't weigh all that much. And God, what is it? 1 gallon of water weighs about 10 pounds. So there's about 30 gallons of water roughly in the thing. So it's about 300 pounds worth of water inside each pillar. Yeah, and that makes them, they still want to rock, but they're not going to tip over at all. So that works. Now, this one here you can see I've got this one in with no water, and the bag's all loose and everything else in there, but it's just stapled. I'm ready to put water into that one. And I've got to get this bag into this pillar yet. That pillar, I'll wait till she drains out naturally. And then I'll line it if I need to line it. If not, I'll probably be done by then, so probably won't worry about it. If not, it'll be tomorrow when I line it. But now back to filling. Shay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, progress made. Pillars are 4 foot apart. And this one looks like it's leaning that way a little bit. Reason for it is because it is. It's the cement on here. It's slanted that way pretty good. That one's sitting more on where it's supposed to be at. So it's more up and down. We got in, I got the arches up into place. They're attached. What I ended up doing, open up the side door, is I just put a little PVC pipe in here and then put a clamp on it to hold it into place, and it'll allow me to loosen that screw there, and it'll loosen the clamp up, and I can just pop them right out on either side. Liners are looking good. They're not leaking. The water's not going down, so that's fine. I did want to make a comment on the garbage bags. These are some of those cheapy ones that you get at Costco. I'd recommend for doing this, for now, because I'm just testing it, they're okay. But if you want to do a garbage bag liner like I'm doing, cheap and on the fly, go down and buy a hefty or a nice thick heavy duty plastic bag. The more heavy duty the better, just to play it safe. This one here has no plastic bag, and it looks like the water's down about 1 foot. It's still leaking out the bottom there. So this one, I think, yeah, it's doing fine too. Water hasn't gone down any in that. So the other 3 pillars are doing just fine. It's just this one here without the liner is leaking. But like I said, use a heavier duty garbage bag in there. They work a lot better that way. And then got that done. I've actually been working on part of the gates. This part here. This is going to be my hinge for the gate. So I'll have one at the bottom and one at the top of the pillar. And the gates will slide down over this for a hinge. Real simple hinge. Just 3 parts. A screw flange. And then I found a 90-degree that's threaded on one end, which screws in. And then a 5-inch pipe, which is screws into the elbow. And it's small enough to allow, since I'm using a 3/4 inch pipe, a PVC, it allows the fitting to slide inside. And no comments from the peanut gallery. Keep your mind out of my gutter. So I can, slide the PVC on there, and then the gates will be able to turn and hinge and stuff. Way heavier duty, and then you mount this to the frame or to the pillars out there with just 4 screws. So I got one left to put up or put together. I wanted to show you the parts. So I've been working on that. I'm going to get this last one put together, get these attached to the pillars out there, and then I got to start figuring out my parts list for the actual gates and go down and buy all the fittings for that. Now we need to start doing the gates. And the gates are going to be a combination of piping. And I picked up 16 pieces of piping. I'm not going to need it all. I know that now, so I'll probably be taking some of it back. But we picked up some 4-ways, and there's some, oh, here's one. No, that's a 4-way. I'm getting all the 4-ways. Where's everything else? Bags at 90-degree angles. So we got those, and I got a bunch of tees. Got everything I need to do the fencing. Now I gotta start cutting and what have you. And measuring and all that fun stuff. Yeah, fun. Hey people, figured I'd give you an update. It's the next day. Yesterday we got out here and we got the arches and the pillars put together. You'll notice the entrance arch is missing. I'll cover that in a little bit. Got a little bit of work done. I went and got this piece done here for the gate, and this is the piece that fits here, on the nipples, and then the gates will stick off into it. Got those all measuring, got my pipes measured and what have you. And I ran into a problem. When I bought these, I bought the wrong size. The tees or the fittings fit onto it fine, but this part here will not fit inside the pipe. It's too big. Now, my fix I'm gonna have to do, I could just take everything back and get the right size, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get rid of this nipple here. I'll take these nipples back, get my money back on them. I've got 8 of them. And I'm going to buy a 1-inch nipple. That will bring the nipple inside the tee down to about where my finger is there, which is more than enough. I really don't need them that big. I kind of was over designing it. So I'll just shorten up the nipple and then these will work just fine. So we got that done. And yesterday, and I have not checked today. Yep, garbage bag still in there and we still got water in it. They're working fine. The only one leaking still, and as you can see there's a lot of water on the ground, is the one I did not put the liner in. And let's see, there's about 2 inches of water in the bottom of it. So I told you it's going to take a day or two. But anyways, that one's almost drained. So I got my test done. And I covered on about using the trash bags, using the heavier duty trash bag inside, not the cheap ones. Worked also last night, and this is the reason why the entrance arch is not up in place. I went in and worked on the lights. As you remember, let me get that put down. I had a crap ton of lights in there, and when we tested it last vlog, it was just way too bright. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go through and remove LEDs. And I did. Every other one. I tested it last night, and it's 100% better. It's not near as glaring bright as it was, and you can still see the letters. So first off today, I'm going to get in here with some wood putty, and I got to putty all the holes now in it, let it dry, and then it's repainted, and this arch is done. The exit arch, I'm still soldering up LEDs for it. To be honest, I have not been working on the LEDs as diligently as I should have been. Well, not too bad today. Yes, Kaylee. She wants me to take time to play. It's playtime, huh? Anyway, we got the basic gates assembled, and you'll notice this one is sitting kind of weird. This ends up a little bit higher, and that's because this pillar here is sitting at an angle. The top is actually further away than it should be. When they're sitting out front, they'll be level, so these will match. But they're nice and hinged. And at night, if I wanted to, I can close them and wrap a chain through there to bar people from getting in. So we got that done. That one is sitting more level, and you can see how it's sitting more level up here too. You know, it's probably about a little quarter of an inch difference. But all in all, not too bad. Now, I've just got these all dry fitted. There's no glue on them. What I'm going to end up doing is on the back side of them, I'll go and take I got some self-tapping sheet metal screws, and I'll run one through on all the joints up here so this doesn't come apart. Now, the decoration here in the middle, I was going to use some of that gray tubing I got from Troy. Calavera? Troy from Scare Hollow. I can't pronounce your last name for some reason. Never have been able to. But I was going to use some of that gray tubing and do some circles and S's and curly Q's, decorate it up. I didn't like that. What I'm thinking about doing, and I'm not sure, and depending on what I'll do, I'll adjust the length on these middle pillars. But I was thinking about taking some of the gray tubing. Okay, you want to open? We'll move over this way. We'll stick it down the tube and do some flanging or something coming out with it. So is what I'm thinking about doing. That's going to wait until tomorrow, though. I am not doing it tonight. I made it as far as I wanted to out here. Good morning, all. And it is morning. Going on about 9 a.m. Before we finished out here, I got the green paint out and we got the letters touched up. So that's good to go. I need to wipe the sign down. I need to touch up on the black. There's a couple of spots that rubbed off here. And then it needs to get clear coated. But I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to wait until I get the gates done, because I got to spray those black as well. So I'll do the sign the same time I do the gates as far as paint goes. On the back side, and I think I explained it in the last clip, I need to pre-drill a hole in each of the joints where the pipes go into the fitting, and I'm going to put a screw in, to keep them from coming apart. Basic reasoning, I could, like I said, I'm using the screw now. That way I could take the screw out and take it apart, replace pipes if the pipes get broke. I could also glue it, but that would lock everything into place, and I'd have to replace the whole gate if anything ever broke on it. And I want to be able to take it apart. So I think to start for today, we are going to get all the gates off. I'll get all the screws and stuff in, get all the pieces locked into place, and then we're going to start working on some sort of detail. As far as detail goes, I've got 3 different ways I'm thinking I can go. One, I could just heat up the end of the pipes, pinch them and make kind of a star shaped, make it look like a spike. I've also got some finials left over from when I did the wrought iron fencing a couple of years back. I could just put one of those in each of the pipes and call it quits. But I want to play around. I've got that tubing from Scare Hollow that I got a couple of years back. It's been sitting around. I might try doing some sort of fancy curly Q or twist coming off the ends of each of the pipe. So I'm going to mess around with that, and if that ends up not working, then I'll come back and either pinch the ends or put a finial on them. Okay, a day's work on the gates, and I have the wife to thank for answering my problem. Here's the finished gates, and the problem I had was with the detail. The twine here and the gray rods coming up, all my wife's idea. I had tried using some of this gray pipe to do some intricate circles and twists and turns. I was going to come out of the pipe and do kind of a flame routine and bend it. Now I've been trying to bend this off and on for a month now, doing different patterns with it. I've come to the conclusion you can't bend this gray piping. It's just too soft, too malleable, and it smashes real easy. Doing straight runs like here, with a slight curve to it, or like I did up there on the signs, works fine. But you can't do circles with it or curly Qs or anything. But I was at a loss, and I had the wife come out earlier, and she suggested trying that. Now, this here is just some rope that I took apart. And it just looked weird having the gray pipe sticking into the white PVC pipe. So I kind of dressed it up. And right now, we're ready for paint. So I'm going to get these 2 off. The other 2 are in the shop. And we're out here because I got the radio on. I'm being lazy. I don't want to put the radio off. So I'm going to set up. Now this is going to be a 3-step process on the paint. I'm going to give all 4 gate panels their paint. First coat of black tonight. Let it dry overnight. Tomorrow morning I'll come out and give it a second coat, and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon I can clear coat them. I'm also got the exit sign up there. I got the inner sign in the shop. It's got to get a coat of black, which will get done tomorrow morning and needs to be clear coated. This one I've got to get down, and I'm going to do the same thing to it I did to the entrance. Even though the red LEDs are a lot dimmer than the greens, I'm afraid it's just going to be too blaring bright. So I'm going to do every other hole, which means I've got to get up there and wood fill every other hole. And then that's going to need to be repainted as well. Next day, I got the red painted on the entrance sign today, and we went through, and the black on both signs have been touched up. So they're both ready for clear coat once they dry, and same thing with the gates. Once they dry, they need to be clear coated, which will be later this afternoon, hopefully. Now, bending hurts. Some of you in previous vlogs have been asking how I'm going to get the water out of these. I did not put a drain plug in. Real simple. In my water room, I've got several fountains that we use. And what we're going to do is use this. That's one of my water pumps from the blacklight room. Simply drop the pump in, get it all the way to the bottom. Take the cord up here. You got to remember you're working with water, so you don't want electrical getting wet. That could be deadly. And plug it in. And don't drop the camera in. And out comes the water. You just let it run for a little bit, and as you can see, or maybe you can't see, but the water is going down. You just let it run until it's empty, and then move the pump over to another pillar, repeat the process. Fairly quick, fairly easy. And everything gets wet. Anyway, there you go. That's how you empty a pillar. Okay, I think I'm going to bring the vlog to a close. Went to take the gates down, and I was going to mount them on the pillars, and I just happened to turn one over, and I realized I forgot to do the bottoms. So when I turned it over, I had white streaks. So I had to go back through and repaint it. So these things are not going to get clear coated this week. They'll get clear coated next week, which is just fine by me. It's up in the 90s. I'm bush. I'm beat. Heat's finally getting to me. But we got the pillars drained earlier. I got them moved in here. I don't want to leave them out in the patio over the weekend while we're gone with work due to the puppy. The puppy likes to nibble and has a thing for foam. So I figure probably best just to move them in here into the shop. Next week we'll move these out and put them on the, more than likely the driveway. I'll set them up along the house out there. That way I can work on layering skeletons. But anyway, I am, even though these need to be clear coated, I'm calling the project, or part 3 of the project, finished. The gates are done. They fit, they work. You've seen them on the thing. I'm going to head in the house and I'm going to work on red LEDs. And might get those installed tonight. I won't get it done tonight, I know that for sure. But need to get those signs done. Next week, we'll be moving on to part 4, which is basically finishing up the project. We've got, like I said, we've got to get the gates, the pillars clear coated. I've got to get the red lights installed in the exit sign, get them wired up, and the arches need to be clear coated. And then we've got layering skeletons to do up on top of each of the pillars, and final wiring. Hopefully we'll get that done next week. That's what I'm shooting for. So, the first week of September, we've got another project I need to get started on. But anyway, part 3 is officially done. The gates are made and they work. Just some little bit of clear coating. So for part 3, I'm going to say stay spooky and stay toxic.